Do you put your pets first? Hey, well, search for the most pet-friendly rentals anywhere.
Start talking. Welcome everyone, and we are live. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by, as always. I'm Eli. For those of you that don't know, Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A days where you can ask questions about anything going on with Pokemon. And so for today, obviously the main topic is going to be having a discussion about Evolving Skies reprints coming early. We were expecting it to come sometime in August, but it looks like they're coming this month and have already started to hit the show. So super excited about that. Of course, you can ask me questions literally about anything. It doesn't have to be specifically related to the topic for yesterday's video or today. So we're all open to talk about literally just about anything. So, but I want to give a shout out to those people that are here. Shout out to Jeff, Gabriel, Player One, John Boy, Pika, what's up? Nice to see you again, brother. It looks like you got another meeting, hopefully till later. And John Mraz. Then we've got, who else we got? Travis, what's up, Travis? John Doe. Oh, Travis, by the way, I need to still release the funds for you. I apologize about that. I'll take care of that later. Your name just reminded me of that. I apologize. I was swamped yesterday. John Doe, shout out to you, brother. Lord Narwhal, what's up? I'm loving the Gen 3 music, right, dude? Babe Cakes is here. No meeting for Babe Cakes either. Let's go. Man, y'all got some free time. Let's go. Shim Slady. Alright, let's see. Now let's start answering and see what everyone wants to talk about. Player One says, think prices might drop. Well, it's interesting. For those of you guys that don't know, I think his name is Pika World. He runs a Instagram page and then also his own website, and he's already selling them for $120 a piece. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if he sold out at those prices, but prices are dropping, man. Prices are already dropping. So yeah, scratch him. You were late last time. Yeah, you better get your TikTok, bro. Eli's thinking ES booster box go down to 100. Yeah, I mean, the fact that some sites are selling them for 120 right now, it makes sense to me. The image reveal of the Altart Giratina is so sick. I gotta agree with you on that one, man. As a Giratina fan, who would have guessed it, considering literally that's bottom left of my card as well as the main screen, Giratina. I was very, very happy that first and foremost we're getting Altarts. It's not like I was expecting us not to get Altarts, but you never know. And then when we got the Giratina one, which first off, I want to give some love actually to the Aerodactyl one. The Aerodactyl one's actually really, really cool. I love it just flying over. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous design. Why do I gotta watch these ads? I will never know. Come on, man. Really? And then I can't click out of it. Guys. It's being slow. There we go. But I love this. How it's like, I love this artwork so much. It is so cool. Because literally, it's all the fossil Pokemon that they're showing on. Like, the artwork design of this card is so cool. It is such a cool concept. Because if you look at the background very attentively, it's almost like trying to do a Jurassic Park theme, right? Where you have like a background of Rampardoses just roaming around, Bastiodons and Sheldons all around. You've got Tropiuses. Like, it's all the like fossil slash, like kind of dinosaurish looking Pokemon. So I think it's absolutely such a cool design. Volcano in the background, trees. I love it. I think it's so cool. You know what this made me think about this? I would love if they did set themes that had to do with like, and I think this could be really good going with Scarlet and Violet, because Scarlet and Violet is obviously new versus old. I think it'd be really cool if they came out with an old set and it really focused around prehistoric Pokemon. Like the center focus was like old Pokemon, and you could always, of course, and it would be like a lot of these fossil ones. Like that, I think would be a cool theme if you did certain theme types, like regional locations and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of like how Chilling Reign, it really centered around like the tundra, like I think it would be cool if you did something like this. So absolutely love it. Gorgeous art design. But Giratina, man, oh, just the imagery of this going into the distortion world. Oh, that's so cool. Obviously, it's kind of like an acid trip of a design, but I still think it's gorgeous. I think it's so cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love this one. I think this is such a cool art design, especially as a Giratina fan. I'm definitely happy the way it came out, but I still got to give it to the Aerodactyl. You know, Galarian, you know, it's fine. You know, it's a bummer because this is probably going to just be a dud of an alternate art for a Berserker. But it's okay at the end of the day. Cool rainbows. I love this, but I'll do a full set review on this later. Try not to let the music put you to sleep before the stream starts. Yeah, right. Who could fall asleep with the thought of financial advisor? Whoa, I'm sorry. Your non-financial advisor giving you a non-financial advice. Thank you very much. Let's have a clean stream indeed. Do you think, what's up, Travis? Do you think evolving will get another large wave after this one, or this is the wave, the time to buy in? I wouldn't be surprised if we got another wave, because this set has still at least another 2 years before it goes out of rotation. I was going to say a year to year and a half, but since they pushed back the first wave and it's part of the second, or the E wave, and D wave is still in play for at least another, you know, until end of year, like, it can keep going for a while, man. So I'm not saying like here's the deal, man. I have my price points, and I'm willing to get in at those price points. With everything going on, you know, I talked about in yesterday's video, you know, we've hit a 40-year high inflation point. Inflation is still going up. It has me to believe that, you know, I think Evolving Skies long-term will do incredibly well. Obviously, it's going to do really well. But I don't see as explosive of growth with everything going on. And playing the factor of that, for me personally, getting in at 120 is fine. I know some places are selling it for 120 right now. That's fine. But if you can get in at 105, I mean, even 110 at least. But for myself, 105, 100 is really it. You know, being able to get in at those prices or lower, I think that's kind of what I'm waiting for, you know? Not to mention the fact of the matter, you really want to take into consideration that, as I've mentioned before, distributors right now are trying to get rid of product. They are so desperate to get rid of product that I was able to buy Cosmic Eclipse at legit wholesale, which is insane because usually they would upcharge, but they need money quick because they're sitting on so much said product that they just can't turn. So right now, you're just seeing the after effects of inflation. Inflation goes up, prices become too expensive, demand goes down for consumers, retailers can't sell, and since retailers can't sell, then they can't buy from distributors. Distributors can't sell, then guess what happens? They have to either lower their prices, flash sell it, or come up with better product. Inevitably, that's why the best time to buy is in downturn markets. So it's like I said before, it's not a bad time to buy, but there's going to be so many buying opportunities. Patience is key during these times. Hope you're doing well. By the way, getting ready to move, you'll be glad once you get settled in. Oh, dude, I can't wait to be ready to move. My moving day got moved up though. It was supposed to be in August, or sorry, it's supposed to be in September, but now it's August. So little nervous, but that's okay. Now I just have literally one less month to sell everything. So, and I'm gonna start selling off my own private collection too, with a lot of my like case fresh booster boxes. Because for those people that care about like booster box and ETB collecting, since I for every new set release go through 100 boxes, I get to choose the cleanest case that I get for my own collection, put it sealed. So I'm gonna be selling off some of those kinds of stuff. But yeah, no. And the reason why I'm selling it all off is because at first I wanted to keep my own private collection, but then I realized, like, you know, moving to a new area and on top of that as well, trying to take everything, it's just so much more of a hassle, and I can always just rebuy back my collection. And there's so much uncertainty right now in the recessionary period. I'd much rather have that security of, you know, having a good amount of cash when I move, and then also being able to not have to worry about taking so many things with me and paying more money for, you know, U-hauling everything. Artwork is legit indeed. Hoping to see Lost Origins Trainer Gallery soon. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, we obviously, we only know what we have from Dark Phantasma. Because if we look up Dark Phantasma. So these are the only character rares that are revealed so far. It's from Dark Phantasma, right? So we go all the way down. And then while this loads, I'll read question. Oh, just kidding. No need to read. All right, so we have, obviously, the Gallade. We've got the Enamorous. If you want me to zoom in, I can zoom in on that for everyone. There you go. Nice little Gallade. Nice little Gallade. Enamorous. Don't really care about Enamorous. Enamorous is like, whatever, dude. I mean, but that's just my personal opinion. So, not the biggest fan of Enamorous. I can't even remember what it's from. Is it from Gen 9? Or, sorry, Gen 8 or Gen 7? What generation is it even from? Snorlax is cool. Spiritomb is cool. Gengar is cool. But the sad thing is these are all commons. Like, these are not, like, the black borders. So these are not going to be rare. I wish they were, because then that would at least give them more value. Rip, no Kabuto Kabutops. Yeah, right? Hey, but there wasn't... but, I mean, we didn't have a ton of... Do we have an Omani Star either? Because it's not like they included every one. Yeah, no. They didn't have every fossil, you know? But still, they had a lot of cool ones. Is there any I can see other in the background? Yeah. No, I can't. Astral Radiance, Starmie, and Garchomp Trainer Gallery still too expensive for me. I mean, think about it this way, Pika. It's because it's only had one wave. You know? And, you know, Astral will more than likely have more waves to it. Or I shouldn't say more waves, but like more reprints to it, you gotta imagine. But right now, Pokemon Company, they understand that with one wave alone, this is only going for 101. And that's with one wave. If you're talking about the fact that you had multiple waves, then for them, they're like, yeah, sure, multiple waves, you know, we'll totally do that. But considering they only have one wave right now, and it's at $100, they know that if they drop it to a second wave, it's gonna be expensive. So you really just gotta wait until they get that second wave, and then the prices will eventually go down. But yeah. Aerodactyl card looks cool. I want one. The art with the expansive view is great. 100% agree. Yes, it's so good. I have the Fossil First Edition Aerodactyl pre-release. This reminds me of the art. That's sick, dude. Do you have it in PSA graded? Well, no, Lord Narwhal, Fossil is already a set, I understand that, but I'm saying that it would be cool if they had a set that was focused around all the current day fossils, because WotC, obviously, was Gen 1 for, you know, or sorry, like, early WotC was Gen 1, right? Like, obviously Neo is Gen 2, but we're talking about Fossil, you only had the original 2 fossils. You didn't have any of the new fossils, not to mention the fact of the matter, you know, you didn't have any of the alternate artwork back then as you do now. So you can implement so many cool things and cool new concepts to new cards. You know what I mean? Oh my god. And then he follows it up with JK. Of course. He's trolling me and I'm like, oh, I fell for that so easy. Lost Origin looks like a great set. It looks pretty cool. I'm hoping we get better alt arts. No worries, man. I have another proposition for a deal for you, too. I just haven't gotten around to typing email. I'll probably do today at some point. Bro, if you want to, you can always message me on Discord, too. I've been pretty slow to respond recently in Discord. I do apologize because I've been so busy. So busy. I was so swamped yesterday. But I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. But I did see your email. I glanced over it. I like the guillotine alt art design, but I didn't dig the centipede. LOL. Didn't dig the centipede. What do you mean by that? Is there a centipede that I don't know about? Or am I not getting the reference? Eli, I love Giratina because that DP, 100%, bro. 100%. I love Giratina. This is so annoying. I can't exit out because I keep accidentally clicking the ad. Oh, wait. Gargina because of that DP. Wait, Gargina? Did you mean to say Giratina? Is that what you meant to say? It sounds like you're saying Giratina Infantina. I heard Eevee Heroes is getting reprinted. Do you track Japanese sets too? I don't track them heavily, but I've heard rumors about that. It's so far been rumors, Nick, unconfirmed. Thoughts on liquid market thing Logan Paul is doing. I'm unfamiliar with it, John Boy. Do you want to give me a little bit more information about it? Liquid Marketplace. This came out in April. They already have something like this. Yeah, they already have something like this. This is not like... Now, granted, Logan Paul is obviously a bigger name, so he's going to be able to, like, bring in more people to do this. But this is already something that has been done before. I think what would be really cool is if you could have, like, an NFT tradable value to Pokemon. So, like, kind of like an active stock market where you, like, trade the value of what booster boxes and sealed product is. And so you would basically be able to mirror the value. That way, someone could, in an exchange, be able to, like, bet on the value of whatever that Pokemon product is. And you would mirror that Pokemon product, kind of like pegging it, like the value of it, like, you know, let's say of like a stable coin, but it pegs to the value of whatever that specific item is. And then you'd be able to digitally trade it, and you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, buying that product and then holding on to that product in real life. Because that way, if you're someone that wants to invest in Pokemon product, you could invest in Pokemon product without having to have a ton of storage space for it. I think that'd be really cool. I think that's going to be the future of Pokemon investing, in my honest opinion. I don't know what the copyright images are going to be for that or how you'd be able to get like access to that, but I think that'd be a cool concept. So, not going to lie, I'm not a fan of the Guillotine Alt-Art. Reminds me of the Mew VMAX Alt-Art, which had too much going on. I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying. I guess the difference for me with this one that I like about it is it's kind of an ode to the distortion world. It's obviously not as like transparent because of the art sketch design of it, you know, kind of like how with the Palkia design, it's more transparent. You know what the background design is supposed to look like. I get it. So, honestly, I think that's fair criticism. Which places are selling for 120? It was Pika World, I think is what their name was. Here, let me go to my Instagram. Don't look at my DMs. No one gets to see my DMs. So, his name was PSA Pikachu. That was his name. PSA Pikachu, that's what his name was. So, for those people that know who PSA Pikachu is this muted? Okay, good, it's muted. I'll give him a shout out just cuz. So, right here. It might be hard to see, but psapikachu.com, 119. We can check and see if it's still available, but I'd be stunned if it didn't sell out right away. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Probably sold out. Probably sold out. Actually, no, it would tell us if it sold out. So, yep, there it is. Sold out. He had him for 120. So, pretty cool deal, though. I mean, the man's always giving good deals, typically. He does a good job at that. I'll give him a shout out for that. Reputable place, too. My local Target Walmart can't move their Pokemon product. Well, it doesn't help, Toaster, that they also raise their prices. Because my local Target / Walmart is charging $45 in an Elite Trainer box. So that's expensive as all could get out. Evolving Skies goes below 120. I will for sure buy some. But I'm thinking I may start waiting until sets get closer to going out of rotation to buy the bulk of my booster boxes. That's definitely not a bad play by any means. Especially if there's reprints right before they go out of rotation. ETBs and other stores. Of course, of course. Mike, yeah, Eli, what's up, Catchem? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Glad to see you made it. Hey, Eli, what do you feel about the long-term impacts of small tears, rips, and product seals or cardboard boxes when it comes to sell down the line? I think there's definitely a reason why there's premiums on, like, loose wrapping. Or, sorry, like... So let me put it to you this way. It's hard to say if it's a premium or if it's a discount. And what do I mean by that? So is it the box having a rip that brings down the value, or is it the box having a clean plastic wrap that brings up the value? You know what I'm saying? So like a perfect example. I bought a booster box, I want to say about a year ago. It was a Majestic Dawn booster box. I bought it for 4,000 some odd bucks. Like 4,000 bucks, I think is how much I bought it for. I went, flipped it, sold it for $5K. It had a small rip in it, but I was able to still sell it for $1,000 above what I bought it for. And it still had a small tear. I recently bought one that is case fresh, and I bought it for $500 more than that, $5,500. I know that I heard someone recently sold one for in the $7,000. So both instances, I got it under market value. So who knows? There's an argument to be made that yes, it does bring more value, but to the extent of, you know, having it have a big old dent, I think that's going to be a lot less appealing, because I would, you know, for myself, right? I bought the booster box knowing or thinking in my mind, hey, I wonder if I can try and grab a discount because it has a little tear in it, right? So I would say it's definitely better to have, and I collect, of course, the tight wrap ones. That's just how I've always done it. So I'm gonna go with answer. If it has a little bit of a slit in it, probably. But it's obviously to each their own, because you're gonna have some people that are just wanting to buy it for breaks, and so they don't really care. And then there's some people that want to buy it for their collection. So you know, it's case by case. But I would say on average, you're probably getting less, specifically for older product, if it does have slits in it. Sorry I'm late. So did the reprints come early? They did indeed, Dead Guy. Reprints for the product have started to hit. So you're starting to see Evolving Skies stuff come out this week, next week, and so on, man. Can anybody tell me where Evolving Skies is selling for 120? So I just mentioned it. It was PSA Pikachu. I shouted them out on Instagram. So they're sold out though. I bought into Evolving Skies at 110, so I don't need more unless it hits up 100. 100%, John, and that's the beauty of it all, is if you get in at a low price point on an earlier wave, and then you're just holding long term, and then prices, you know, go even lower than that, then you can just double down and buy back in. No need to get greedy. What are the odds we get shiny alt arts in the final set of the year? Seems like, well, so actually, Eddie, I don't know about alt arts necessarily, but I do know that we're going to be getting V-Star and VMAX shiny, like, you know, Hidden Face 2.0 set, because that's what they announced was going to be the upcoming final end of year shiny set, because we had originally thought that's what VMAX Climax was going to be, but it looks like we got a little bit of like misinformation on that. And so it's going to actually be, this is going to be the end of the year set that we're expecting to get. Goodness gracious, I love having an itchy nose. But it's going to be like a variation of a bunch of VMAX shinies versus V-Star shinies is what we're interpreting it based off of it, you know, what it's looking like, because we've yet to get it. There's going to be a shiny V-Star Charizard. We know that. That's been confirmed. There has been an expectation for a shiny VMAX Rayquaza. Obviously, that's a dummy image of it. And then we're also expecting there to be some other cards. This is, of course, going to be released September 2nd in Japan, so we'll know basically right before Lost Origins comes out what it's going to really look like. But as far as it goes, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a big shiny set, and I think it'll be a good one, hopefully. Good places to buy, yes. Well, it's hard to say, man, because I know that, you know, I was selling them on my site for like 135, sold out of that. I sold out of my bundle with Astral Radiance, where I was giving them at a discount. I still have like 2 bundles left for my Vivid Voltage, and Evolving Skies bundle, which I think it brings down the price of the boxes to like 130 for the Evolving Skies and 115 for. Actually, I actually want to double check and see what does it bring the price down to, because I can't exactly remember. But, I mean, I know that Game Nerds had it for 135. They sold out, right? Okay, so 239. So it brings down the price to you can either look at it this way. It either brings down the price to 115 for a Vivid and 125 for an Evolving, or it brings down the price to 120, or 120 for a Vivid and 120 for an Evolving. However you want to look at it. I think 115 for a Vivid and 125 for Evolving is more accurate. So, and I still have 2 of those left. So, if you want to get a Vivid to go with it, then you're spending 125 on an Evolving, which that's the cheapest I've seen it anywhere. I know it sold out not that long ago for 135 on Game Nerds. I know some people were saying out of all places, Coliseum, it sold out for 130. Who would have guessed that they would actually put it on a cheaper price? So we also still have a couple of the mystery packs if anyone's interested in those. Our Pokerev inspired, you know, Chloe inspired, other PokeTubers inspired Poke packs of our own variation. So we still have a couple of those left, which we'll be opening, obviously, if anyone's interested. But, you know, that'll be a fun one. I'm super excited about that. I want to tell you what, like, the main pack prizes that we got. But I don't want to spoil it, obviously, because I'm excited. I'm super excited. It's going to be so fun when we do that. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's the cheapest you're going to honestly be able to buy it with a bundle. But without a bundle, I don't know, man. I don't know without a bundle where the cheapest place is. If anyone in the comment section wants to, like, hit people up and let them know where the cheaper place is, because I'm always willing to shout out good deals like I did with PSA Pikachu. I'm not here to, you know, just shout out myself. I'm here to let people find better deals. Do you think ES will get more ETB reprints? More than likely. It's not 100% certain, but more than likely, I would say. Toaster says, where are you moving to? I'm moving from California to Oklahoma. That's a big old move, dude. I'm moving to Arizona from Oregon. So, gonna go see how far I can go with volleyball. That's kind of why. So, there's a lot of, like, higher level people that train out there and then travel to California for tourneys, so. But California and Oklahoma. What brought you to Oklahoma, I should ask. Should we hit you up on the Discord again to see what you're still selling? Yeah, go for it, Babe Cakes. If you're definitely interested, because, like, I still have a decent amount of product I can let you know. Obviously, like I said before, super busy, so I'll try to get back to you within a reasonable time. But, yeah, definitely. If you're interested in product. I just bought a flash sale spring collector's chest under 14 bucks. Can't go wrong with that price indeed, man. So glad you gave me your authentic reaction when seeing the joke. Yeah, right. Lord Normal. I'm like, actually, so, oh, I just got trolled. I actually like the Pidgeot. It'd be cool if they made a Pidgeot alt art. Maybe it's just me. I wish they did more alt arts again. I wish they did more alt arts. I miss the, like, tons of alt arts. Because they're not making the sets any smaller. They're just adding character rares instead. And character rares are fine, but they're overdoing character rares right now. Unless they bring in some good ones. But just Giratina, Wasted Berserker, Aerodactyl sick. It would have been cool if they did a Pidgeot V1. BMX Climax was selling at 50, but prices are moving up now. I think now's the time to buy if you want. I saw some places selling for 45, but if they are moving up, I mean, 50 is still a good price. 45 is a good price. Look up Otis Gallery. No clue what Otis Gallery is, but let's look it up. The stock market for culture. Interesting. Is that what this is? Oh, it's an NFT workspace. I see. Yeah, first edition Charizard. Oh, but the individual owns the certificate number? Yeah, I mean, there's so many places that already do this, man. It's like, yeah. And it's easier, I feel like you can NFT this one because since you are the value holder of this specific PSA cert, then you're able to do this, you know? Versus like with a booster box of like Battle Styles, I don't know, or Evolving Skies. It's harder to do that, you know? Bought 20 plus Evolving Skies today at local Target sleeve packs. For how much? Hopefully you got a good deal. Do you think in 10 years getting sealed booster boxes graded in case for display? Hobby will be strong later if it does. That'd be cool if they did that. I would definitely enjoy. Oh, dude, if they did that, John, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I hope they do that. I couldn't tell you, but I think it'd be a good step in the right direction. will the Evolving Skies and Astral Radiance box bundle be restocked? Currently, it is not going to be restocked. The only potential thing I'm going to restock is I have a couple of Brilliant Star booster boxes that I added. So, depending upon what happens with the Vivid Voltage bundle, which I expect it to sell out pretty soon because it is a good deal. And I only had a couple left because I had a lot of people jump on that. I'll probably try and bundle all 3 of them, but if not, I'll just sell the Brilliant Stars individually. Yeah, no. Astral Radiance, that sold out quick. Vivid Voltage, like I said, I only have a couple left because that sold pretty fast. And then, yeah, sadly, I don't have anything else outside of that I wish I could bundle it with. But if I get more product, I'll let you guys know. Do you think Lost Origins will... Wait, hold on. Thanks for your answer. Okay, sorry, I don't want to skip over people on accident. Thanks for your answer, Eli. I also wanted to ask what you think of VMAX Climax Long Term 2. I feel like it'll do well despite the high print run. This is a fun set. Oh, it'll do great. I have never been one that cares about high print runs because at the end of the day, as long as there's a high demand for the set, then that's great. If there is a low demand in a high print run, that's where I start to get concerned, but that is more of a demand issue than a supply issue for my opinion. Because if you look at Evolutions, man, Evolutions was an extremely high demand set, and then it got printed into the ground to the point of where it was oversupplied. You were able to pick it up for like 82 bucks a piece, and then all of a sudden, you know, the price of the booster box sat at 80 to 100 bucks for the longest time. People were like, oh, this box is like, you know, this box is dead, you know, Evolutions is never going to go anywhere. It's been printed into the ground. It's going to do crap. You know, same arguments you hear nowadays about all these modern sets. And then, of course, it goes all the way up to Peak Hive, 1,200 bucks. So it's like, come on, like, you know, if the demand's there, the demand's there, and they're going to drive up the price because the demand is so high for it. So as it stands right now, you know, VMAX Climax is an extremely good set. I think it's definitely the best Sword and Shield era set we've seen so far from Japan, right next to Evolving Sky, or sorry, EV Heroes. I would put EV Heroes slightly above that, but maybe it's because I'm a little biased. But it's an incredible set. You're with the reprints. Those are the sets I like to get in on. It's the high demand sets with these reprints. Those are the sets that for Japan I do like to get on. You know, I don't like to go in at points in which something is overinflated with a high demand, because at that point I just don't see it as a good entry point of opportunity, or something that is, of course, you know, not a value but has a high print run. That's kind of my general strategy, staying away from those, which is why I don't like ultra premium collections, which is why I think right now of EV Heroes booster box is not a fan of. Of course, if we do get confirmation, I really do hope that the EV Heroes boxes go down, but who knows how much they'll go down. Do you think Lost Origins will come out as Sword and Shield as a banger set, or more of a mid-tier set, or just too early to tell? Too early to tell, John. I think so far it's definitely looking better than Astral Radiance, in my opinion, because it does have the Pikachu character rare, it does have the Gengar character rare, Giratina artwork is cool, Aerodactyl artwork is cool. It's going to be around that. It really is just going to come down to the character rares. I think that's going to be a huge like make or break for the set. But John Boy, mystery pack of the century. Hey man, we're charging 40 bucks for them, or $39.99, so cheaper than anyone else. And you know, same odds to get just as good a packs, and you're almost guaranteed Evolving Skies per, you know, of your OG5. And on top of that as well, your bonus pack is always going to be a guaranteed specialty pack from the you know, ETB sets in Sword and Shield. So you've got a lot of really, really good pulls that you could potentially get. So yeah, hard to compete with the prices, and hard to compete what you can get in. I mean, you hit 1 in 10, you hit the silver, you double, triple what you paid for. Gold, you know, quadruple plus that. So there's a lot of value, that's for sure. And like I said before, man, the main pack is obviously, I'm packaging them. The main pack, oh, it's gonna be a fun one. And all I can say is I really, really hope we get the opportunity to, whoever opens it is gonna be in the chat when it happens. I really want to see the reaction. I recently bought it on several VMAX boxes, 53 shipped. I expect they'll do long-term. EV Heroes too high if prices drop enough. 100% agree with you on that one, John. John, you and I are usually on the same page when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've just noticed consistently. if we get start, wait, hold on. If we start getting good, that is an interesting sentence. If we start getting good, black and gold cards like we're already having with the tournaments and get ones like possibly Pikachu or Rayquaza will increase the value of the previous ones. If so, how much? Really comes down to, Gabriel, this the amount in which they're like being pulled. Because if you take a look at like Brilliant Stars, for example, obviously Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery has them. And the pull rates for these cards are extremely easy, which is why the price of them is extremely cheap. Don't get me wrong, like it's Urshifu, you know, rapid or single, so it's not like the highest demand cool cards, but the supply on them is extremely high. Astral Radiance, on the other hand, as well, you've got both the Calyrex ones, and once again, they're going for around the same price. So, and for me, I think it really just comes down to supply issue. If there's too many of them, it just doesn't really make sense that the value of them would be extremely high. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, you're going to have a nice demand for the fact of the matter that they're going to be Rayquaza ones, or they're going to be Mews or Pikachu ones. But because of the supply, I gotta imagine it's not going to be exorbitantly higher. Because, I mean, think about Pokemon Go, man. I mean, Pokemon Go is a set, or we can even go to Celebrations, right? Radiant Charizard. It's a shiny Charizard card. How often do you see a shiny Charizard card below $100, let alone at, you know, in the 30s? Not too often, but this is a card that, of course, is super easy to pull because it's a Radiant card. So it's not going to be worth as much. It's just kind of how it goes. That's just kind of how it goes. When are you moving to Arizona? He says, I'm moving. My move-in date will be end of the month. So sometime in late August. Like August around the 20th is kind of the expected time. But yeah, I'm going to be moving to the, like, to the Chandler, like Gilbert, Scottsdale area. Do you know where we may be able to order Evolving Skies reprint for a good price? It's really in retrospect. Obviously, I shouted out PSA Pikachu because they were selling for $120, but they're sold out. The other cheapest place we had was Coliseum. They were selling for $130. They sold out. $135. Game Nerd sold out. I can't tell you right now. I can try and tell you right now if we still have any on the site. I know. I can tell you guys, if you guys want to know the exact supply, I can tell you the exact supply that I have for any of my Evolving Sky stuff, right? So, obviously, sold out of Astral Radiance. So, completely sold out of that. The Vivid Voltage bundle, it looks like I have one of those left, which brings down the price of the, if you do the bundle, $125 per Evolving Skies booster box. So, cheapest you're going to be able to find it. And then your just standard Evolving Skies booster boxes. I had a small supply of those. I was selling for $135. I don't know if I have any of those left. Let's take a look. I have a... Ooh, is that right? Oh. Is that right? Hold on, let me see. I think I'm sold out of those. Yes, I'm sold out of those completely. I just sold my last one. So, looks like the only thing I have left right now is just the Evolving Skies bundle with the Vivid Voltage. I've got literally one of those left. Everything else is sold out. So, and then, of course, as I mentioned before, we got our mystery pack bundles, if people are interested in those. But am I the only one that actually likes that Berserker? I mean, it's very much like an anime kind of cartoonish look. It's not like it's a bad card, in all honesty. I just don't really care for Berserker as a Pokemon card. I liked Persian a lot more. Not the biggest fan of it, but that's just me, man. To each their own. Some people like certain cards, some people don't. Track Phantom, let's go! Indeed, good sir. Evolving Skies, prices finally dropping. It's always good to hear, man. No more 190, no more 200. We're going into the 30s, soon to drop to the 20s across the board. I'm not talking about my booster boxes of their case long term in case mint graded booster boxes become a thing. I'm not taking my booster box out of the case. Hey, man, I definitely don't blame you on that one. I definitely like keeping sealed cases for sure. But also, when I buy it from distributors, they ship in a case, so it's easier for me to sell it that way, you know? I'm going to get Evolving Skies all year long until it dries out. You know, man, it's a high demand set long term. Like I said before, 120 still ain't a bad price to get it in at. Especially if you're looking at it from a long term perspective. Do you think anyone will start doing ETBs or booster box mystery boxes? Like do a 1 in 5 seeded Cosmic Eclipse, Breakpoint, or etc.? That's an interesting one. I mean, you could totally see someone doing something like that. The question really just becomes, are people going to want to do that, you know? Because the profitability rate you have to imagine for someone, right? Let's say, just for the sake of this argument, let's say that the individual is buying a Cosmic Eclipse at 500. They're selling it at 500. And then let's say your chances of pulling that Cosmic Eclipse booster box is 1 in 10. Then you also have $120 worth of Evolving Skies. So aka you bought 9 of them. So we'll say 120 times 9, because we'll say for the sake of the argument that's what they're going for right now, right? Then you got the 500. That's what your market value is, right? That is what your market value is. Then you say to yourself, your buy-in price, will say for the sake of the argument, $90 to buy in each Evolving Skies, 90 times 9, plus 500. That is your overall buy-in price. Now, what are you going to charge people, right? For the sake of this argument, are you going to charge people, you know, for the random chance of a mystery box thing? Like how would you price structure that is the real question, you know? Like, how would you price structure that? Because you can do so in a way where you say, all right, well, it cost me $1,310. I'm going to price structure everything $150, right? Times 10. That's going to be $1,500. So that way you're paying over with a slight chance. And what was it? Your buy-in price, of course, at $1,300. So you're profiting like $200. So you could structure it that way. I mean, it really just comes down to how you want to structure it. It's a cool concept because mystery packs, I think, are the future right now. But it's really hard to say, man. If people would even want to really appeal into that, it would have to be worth it to where people are not getting like just battle styles or other, you know, booster boxes that are not worth it. It'd be a cool concept. You could totally do it one way. But also, too, a lot of people as well, like with the thing about the mystery packs that people like is they're only like, you know, like I think Pokeclose is 65, Pokerevs is 50 minus 40, right? So when you think about that kind of price difference, depending on whose you want to like enter in on, at least the ones that I know of, the price to entry is very low compared to a booster box, which some people, you know, won't be able to afford. Now, a good amount of people will be able to afford it, but you're going to get a bigger pool of people if you're doing these mystery packs just because of that. What is the point of the middleman grading service like Graded Gem? Like, do they guarantee quicker turnaround times? So their kind of thing is for those people that don't want to spend the money on going and getting like a $250 platinum membership with PSA. Instead, you can just go through them, Travis, and then they can basically do it for you, and they'll charge you like $1 more than what they're getting it for using their memberships. Because that's the thing, is they can get discounted prices. Plus, they are like in contact with specific PSA graders, and so they're also able to get other discounted prices. So it basically makes it cheap as if you owned a membership, except you're having them handle the process. And then if I'm correct too, I can't remember if they do offer pre-grading services. I know some places do, where they basically tell you what they think your grade is going to be, and if you want to, you can send it in. I think you get charged like an extra fee if that's a service that you really care about. So it's like a pre-grade to the grade, you know, and they'll tell you if you like are very unfamiliar with what, if you're very unfamiliar with what conditions are for PSA, they can like kind of point you in that direction, if you know what I mean. So those are a lot of the benefits. But I know that Graded Gem for a while had a lot of controversy going around it, at least UK Graded Gem, because they lost a bunch of cards. So I would definitely look more into that though. Evolution packs selling for a lot. Graded and loose evolution packs are on sale $18 right now. Do you think prices will fall during recessions of those packs? They're worth picking up now at $18. I definitely think 18 is still overpriced. You have a lot of product that you can still go and buy or find in Walmarts or Targets that have Evolutions product. Like the Zamazente Zacian a tin, like the lunchbox tin. I remember I picked it up like a couple months back for 25 bucks, and it came with like 2 Rebel Clashes, an Evolutions, a Burning Shadows, and a Sword and Shield base. Like, you do the math, you get 5 packs, you spend 25 bucks, $5 average pack. Like, that's worth it when you're considering the fact of how expensive the Evolutions is. So at that point, I'd much rather go elsewhere and try and find it for cheaper. I mean, you're saying 18 bucks. Are we going off a TCG player? Are we going off of eBay? Let's just take a look and see. Off of what TCG player is saying, assuming you're talking about TCG player prices. We can also take a look as well. Yep, 19 bucks TCG player. We also take a look and see what Polkadata is saying for Evolution sealed product. If you guys are there, when are we doing the update, guys? I'm ready for the update. The new UI rollout was told end of month. Evolutions. All right, so Evolutions booster pack. Let's take a look and see. So average price they're saying is 20 bucks. I mean, that's ridiculous to me, man. You can easily go find other product that has Evolutions packs in it that you can, you know, sell for cheaper. Like, or that you can buy for cheaper. Just buy bundles of product that have it. And sure, you might say, well, oh, it's going to come with other packs I don't want. Well, just sell those packs. It's worth it because you're able to get it for so much cheaper. I don't know. That's just me. But what do I know, I guess? I got to imagine, too. I mean, if we go look at Sword and Shield, it's probably going to be expensive because people are aware. But who knows? We'll just check just for the sake of checking. But let's go check and see what the Sword and Shield base set 10 price is at. Sold product, sold product, sold product. Best selling, sealed product. Tins, yeah. They're going for around $46. I mean, it makes sense. It has an Evolutions pack in it, right? So, if you can find these old product in stores, they pop up every so often. So, be on the lookout. But yeah, I definitely think it's still worth it to go a different route of buying other product. And just $18, man. That's expensive. And I think the recession will play a factor in as well. The demand will go down eventually for it. Who knows? I mean, there could be just slow like growth of it. But if you really just want to do the math, right? We say $18 times 36 for a loose pack. You're still paying $6.50. Like, might as well buy a booster box at that point. I know some people I've seen sell their booster box for $600. So, I don't know, man. How soon can we see the next set after Lost Origins? December 2nd, right? December 2nd, I think is what they said for English for our shiny set that we're going to be getting. Let's take a look. So we're going to be getting the shiny set. So September 2nd is when it comes out for English. V-Star Universe will release on December 2nd based on the generic name. It'll be a generic annual reprint set like November's VMAX Climax. There have been several card reveals in Japan. But that's the Japanese one. I don't know. Sometime in December, I gotta imagine then. September, October, November, December. November, December. But I feel confident saying December probably. Mexican Tail. Hi, Pokemon. What's up? How we doing, brother? Most of Arizona's does not change the clocks twice a year. What makes you saying that, Kinsiki? I like there's a full Kyurem. I think that would be cool to have a design a bit cooler. It would be cool. I would like the fusion art design too. Like for those people that played Black and White too. Where they had the like transfuser. Or like the splicer. Because Kyurem's a cool card. But like I said before, man, I mean, they're still including VMAX cards, and I think they're doing it for a reason. The purpose of them including these VMAX cards is there probably going to be some shiny variations in the V-Star versus VMAX set. How much should I pay for an Evolving Skies ETB? Is 90 a good range? 90 is ridiculously expensive, Trax Phantom. Ridiculously expensive. Here's the deal, man. I would wait, because they're more than likely gonna... Yeah, Travis, I'll sell you a bunch for 90. They're more than likely going to get a reprint sometime within the next year or two. So I would just be patient. You'll probably be able to pick them up again for 40 bucks to 50 bucks. If you're really trying to pick them up now, I wouldn't be surprised if you could find some places selling them for 70. I know that I myself for a while was selling them for 60, 65 bucks. So 90 is overpriced, man. Plebisaurus, what's up, my guy? Thanks for stopping by. Always nice to see you. Big question. How much do you believe in the big VMAX alt art will fall? Believe the big VMAX alt arts will fall. So I assume you're talking about from Evolving Skies, because the reprint, that's what I gotta imagine. I could see them really comes down to the size of this print. Because depending upon how big the size of this print is and here's the thing, man. I talked about this in yesterday's video, and so I'll reiterate it again because I really want people to understand and grasp the concept of what I'm talking about when I say this. So let's go to Pokédata. Is there a good site for this? When you're telling me that the value, first and foremost, right? First and foremost, you're getting a reprint of product. So you're having more supply. More supply to an equivalent demand. Prices are going to have to come down, right? Prices are going to have to come down just because of reprints, right? Question is, how high are they going to go down? Well, considering the fact that PSA and, you know, the fact that, and I'm surprised, I'm be honest with you. Hopefully this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I was surprised my video announcing that PSA was going to get $18. Maybe it's because I hadn't posted in a week because I took vacation, but I was surprised that video didn't get as much views as it did. I thought it was going to get more because that's huge news. Because people don't understand how big of an implication that is for the ultra modern sets. Because people before were very like scared of sending an ultra modern product because the thin margins that were with that. And now you're telling me you cut the price down from 50 to 30 to 18. That's going to change things drastically for how people send things in. Because before you just had a bunch of people sending them in that were like, oh, I'm going to get a 10 guaranteed. But now you're going to have people taking risks because the spread between a PSA 9 versus a raw card is enough to where if you're saying to yourself, you send it in 306 plus 18 plus however much it costs to ship, even if you get a 9, you're still going to walk away with a profit. So for people, of course, if you did that with 330, you're either breaking even or losing money. So people are going to get riskier because the price of PSA has gone down, and with the ultimate, you know, supply increase, the price between this is going to start off going down as well. So there's going to be a little bit of a spread between PSA cards prices for the 9s versus the standard raw. However, this is how it's going to look. It's going to start like this, so the spread is going to get wider, and then it's going to get to a point where it's going to curl back in and they're going to cross one another. And raw is going to be more than PSA. Because we've seen that happen already multiple times, and I'm going to explain why I think that's going to be inevitably like going to happen. You know, here's an example of it perfectly with Leafeon. The point at which, of course, you know, guys, this is raw, right? There was a point where raw was worth more than the PSA prices. That's incredible. It should never be like that, right? But the problem is when there's an imbalance because there's more cards that are getting graded for PSA, and what's even crazier about this is you're talking about a PSA 9 supply of 27. You're talking about a PSA 10 supply of 287. That is a very low supply. So the fact that with that low of a supply, you're still getting that cross because people are not valuing these ultra modern cards in PSA graded as much. And now you're telling me that they dropped the price down to $18. You're gonna see a huge spike increase of this, which is then drastically going to lower the price. And, you know, we have a reprint, which is once again going to drastically lower the price. If there comes a point where you do see that cross, which I think is highly inevitable, where raw at some point does go more than PSA, there's going to be an inflection point of where it crashes. Because if you look at the first inflection point after the sale, so you had this sale, right? Which this is the spread. Ignore this line. This is just the last sale from then. The next inflection point that happened where you saw the price go all the way to 144, and we can look at it from a spread perspective on sales, right? But that next inflection point after where it crossed down, it then eventually rebounded and had to go up. Because either one of two things is going to happen, right? And we'll go back to this so it's easier to see. It's kind of hard to see. But either one of two things is going to happen, guys. Either raw cards go up and therefore PSA prices have to go up, or PSA prices go down to the point of where it hits raw, and then raw prices have to go down, and then PSA prices have to go down. And so it's like a race to the bottom. I think a race to the bottom is more likely because, one, you're increasing supply for both because PSA prices are cheaper and reprints, and then two, because you can't have it that PSA prices on cards are going to be less than of raw. That's just not how it works, because the supply for PSA 9s compared to just raw is so much less. And I know people value 10s nowadays for Ultra Modern more than 9s, but long term, like, that's just not how it should work. So I think you could see, if I'm being completely honest, I think you could see a huge retracement, like a huge retracement coming, like 30 to 50% drops. And I know that sounds incredibly crazy. I know some people are going to say I'm crazy, but at the same exact time, how many times have I come off as crazy and then, you know, not sound arrogant, of course, but how many times have I come off as crazy and then my, you know, crazy quote unquote theories end up being right? I mean, made a video in obviously May saying that by June we were going to hear news that there was going to be reprints and I'd be willing to bet, you know, free booster box of Evolving Skies on it. And then a week later they announced that there was going to be a reprint. Like there's just so many correlation and causations. Like obviously you hear correlation does not equal causation, but there is a correlation that is leading to a causation for instances like this. And so for Umbreon VMAX specifically, we've seen price history of how low it's gotten before, right? We know that the price history, the lowest we've seen this price go down to was around the 160-ish price range, right? And if we're saying to ourselves, currently speaking, 350 for graded, 306 for raw, dropping down 40 to 50% would just put it back at its all-time low. And when you have a population report which is going to drastically increase that and a supply that is going to increase because of it, it's like just more downwards pressure. So I think realistically, I think you could easily see the price go down to 250. I could see 200, and I think maybe your lowest point would be slightly below 200, anywhere between 150 to 180-ish. Now, some people might think that's too much of a drop, but you're also going to say to yourself, is this going to happen immediate, or is this going to happen for more Pokemon Evolving Skies product coming out? Because Vivid Voltage, guys, Vivid Voltage prices, when the booster boxes were at their all-time high, the Vivid Voltage cards were dropping continuously. I mean, you want to take a look at some sets and talk about a good example, and I love correlating Vivid Voltage to Evolving Skies because I think there's a really good correlating pattern to it. But just look at the raw history of what happened with the Pikachu. The raw history was very much 400. And then, of course, it went down after its print, and then it started to climb. And then after it got hit with another wave of Vivid Voltage product, basically, we're here. This is the initial release. This is the down pit of it. Then we have no Evolving Skies product, Vivid Voltage product. It goes up. And then what happens? Vivid Voltage gets put in tins. Vivid Voltage gets put in, you know, specialty boxes. Vivid Voltage gets put in a 25th anniversary product. Vivid Voltage has ETB reprints. It has booster box reprints. Price just continued to go down. From its high to currently, it's retraced more than 70 to 75%. From its prior high, so not all-time high, prior high to that, it's retraced more than 60%. So to tell me that you can't see the exact same thing happening where we're at that same inflection point, but for Evolving Skies, because Evolving Skies, think about the most recent Divergent tins, Evolving Skies, the EV Hero tins, Evolving Skies, the regular EVV tins, Evolving Skies. You think of, you know, we just got a booster box reprint. We haven't even gotten an ETB reprint. And to think that also as well, the Juniper boxes had Evolving Skies. You're going to see a large amount of product for Evolving Skies. Because listen, too, guys, I know this is a long rant. I apologize. But there's just a lot to dissect here. When you're talking about the fact that right now, the Pokemon Company is selling and flash selling, their distributors specifically, are flash selling more Peko V boxes, Boltund boxes, Cleaver boxes. They're flash selling them, right? And what do all of those products have in common? They don't have Evolving Skies, and they're flash selling them. What are the products they're not having to flash sell? Divergent tins. Of course, they're at wholesale prices, but distributors didn't have to flash sell them because they knew they had Evolving Skies product in it. Juniper boxes. Cool promo, has Evolving Skies in it. EV tins. The EV Heroes tins. Didn't have to flash sell them. They're at a point now where they're self-aware, I think, of what packs are going to sell what product. So they can throw a crappy product at you, and as long as you have an Evolving Skies pack in it, people are going to eat it up. And there's going to come a point, of course, where it's eventually not going to work, and that point is going to come when the price of Evolving Skies packs crash so much and the price of the cards goes down so much to where it's going to not hold as much value. And I think that's going to come because they're going to start overloading everything with Evolving Skies like they did with Evolutions back in the XY era, like they've been doing with Cosmic Eclipse product. Because, well, Cosmic's a little bit different of a situation. I think Evolutions is a better example, but Evolution, because it was so high demand and they put so much in it, they're going to do the same thing with Evolving Skies. So, you're just going to see a huge supply of that continue to go and come out. Very long rant. I do apologize. Thankfully, there was not a trillion more questions that were added to it. But hopefully, that was a rant that you guys all found very informative. Is 200 too much for Evolving Skies ETB tracks? Phantom is now trolling. Thoughts on Pokemon Go Japan English long term? I think it'll do fine. I think it's going to be a nostalgic set, if anything. You know, because looking at it right now, you say to yourself, man, the set sucks. But I think this is going to be very much like a Shining Legend set. And what do I mean by that? When you take a look at this set out the gate, right? Let's take a look at the cards in it. Not the biggest fan of this alt artwork, right? But, you know, it's an alt art Mewtwo nonetheless. You've got a golden Mewtwo V-Star, a rainbow, and a regular. You've got your shiny, you know, Radiance original starters. You've got a rainbow Dragonite, right? And then you've got a bunch of other crappy cards no one really cares about with a Ditto-like concept. Just face value seems like a crappy set. When you go take a look at a set like Shining Legends, now this is going to sound extremely controversial, and I want to preface this by saying I'm a huge fan of Shining Legends. I love the set. But for those people that don't know, Shining Legends, when it first came out, was a very, very poorly taken set. People were flash selling booster boxes, or sorry, Elite Trainer boxes at wholesale. It was a set that was really hard to move. People just didn't really care. Shining Genesect, people don't really care about that. People didn't care about Shining Volcanion. People didn't care about Shining Arceus. Cool, you know, Rainbow Entei, but it's not a character card that's going to hold a lot of value. You know, Rainbow Zorak, once again, cool card, but not going to hold a lot of value. So what did you have in it? Shining Mew, Test Tube Mewtwo, Rainbow Mewtwo, Shining Rayquaza. Those are your main four pulls. This, people didn't like the art design on this. It's gotten a lot warmer recently. People have started to like the art design, but back then, people didn't care about this art design. Kind of like people don't care about the art design currently for Pokemon Go. Rainbow Mewtwo, GX, kind of equivalent to the Rainbow Mewtwo V-Star. Shining Mew, people care about that card. It's a cool card. Shining Rayquaza, people like it. But people said to themselves during the time of the set, they're like, yeah, it's cool. They're getting another Shiny Mew. They're getting another Shiny Rayquaza. But there's so many, you know, Rayquazas that are shiny that have so many better art designs. To me, this is just nothing special. And so the initial sentiment for the set was very negative. I mean, just look at how many Shiny Rayquazas there are, guys. Dragon's Exalted, Call of Legends, Shining Legends, Hidden Fates. Rayquaza's an extremely high printed card. Mega Rayquaza, arguably, if you want to consider it a shiny or not, obviously, because they do have the one from Ancient Origins. Is that the Ancient Origins one? Yeah, it is. What other ones we have? We have the original, of course, from the EX era. You've got another XY promo. I mean, they've done it from Deoxys. They've done it many times. So people were very much didn't care, turned off by it. So as far as it goes, I guess to answer your question on that, I do think it's a set right now that has a lot of negative sentiment for obvious reasons. But I would not be stunned if it is a set that actually does better long term, because people start to get warm towards it, because it's the first set that's ever had a shiny Venusaur. It's the second set that's ever had a shiny Blastoise. And also as well, it's got an alternate art Mewtwo, and it's the first alternate art Mewtwo outside of, you know, from the Sword and Shield era that we've ever had. So that's kind of my personal opinion on that. Are these new reprints with the new code cards or just new stock? It is reprints there, PokeFun. So we just got a big old, or not a big old, we got a small size reprint for Evolving Skies, but hopefully that small is enough to do more damage. I bought 2 Evolving Skies blister packs from Barnes & Nobles yesterday. I pulled a rainbow copycat of Sylveon VMAX Alt Art. Never been so lucky. Heck yeah, Full Metal Babe. That's awesome. No, you're good. I know what you meant, Barnes & Nobles. Oh, Barbed and Noble. That's so funny. I read it knowing what you meant to say. I also grabbed one of the mystery packs. Can't wait for the opening. Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for our mystery pack opening. It's going to be great. Like I said, I think we still have about 13 left out of 50 for initial first wave. It's great. It's the cheapest you're going to be able to find any of these sort of mystery pack bundles. You're getting, you're getting good packs, so many opportunities for good stuff. So, obviously I'm going to hype it up because it's my own product, but at the same exact time, I'm also hyping it up because I made it something that I myself would want to open and purchase, because when you look at a lot of our competitors, they're so expensive. And I was saying to myself, I can make a better version of that cheaper. And that's what I did. Yeah, a booster box, mystery box is too much risk for most people. It's fun if you're only possibly losing. Exactly, Travis. And that's the same concept with the, with our mystery pack, mystery pack bundle. Just mystery packs, sorry. In my area, local shops only get 15 booster boxes. I mean, it was a small supply. I got 20 something, I think, between 2 distributors. What's up, Thaddeus? Yo, what's up, Eli? I hope all is well. Watching on an airplane. Hey, I appreciate that, my guy. Is it because you... I'm curious. Just because I just want to know. You don't have to answer, but are you paying for in-flight Wi-Fi? Or are you getting free Wi-Fi because of the cell carrier for the airplane you're on? I'm just curious. I'm having a hard time to decide between a PSA 10 Gold Star Mewtwo or a PSA 9 Gold Star Rayquaza. And input, both pretty low pop. So when you say GS, am I thinking Gold Star, Danny? Because if you're telling me, and I'll jump to your question so I can answer it, but please let me know. Are you talking about like Gold Star from like Deoxys and Dragon Frontiers? Is that what you mean? Full Grip Gaming having 4th of July evolution sales on that and that product. I'm buying a few evolutions pack to hold since. John Doe, what's the price on them? Do you think that December set will be a hot set to be getting? Yes, it'll be hot, especially if it's a shiny set. AZ does not follow daylight savings time. That's kind of what I thought you meant, Babe Cakes. Is Pokemon product selling better than you're expected so far? Is Pokemon product selling better than expected for you so far? Do you expect sales to pick back up going into the holidays, even with the recession? I think sales have actually gone... Let me put it this way. When I would put product on my site, it would sell out typically within 5 to 10 minutes. Max. And that was like that was like at market prices. Nowadays, product will take anywhere between a day to a couple of days to sell, to even weeks. Depending upon how high the demand the product is. So demand has definitely gone down. The only product that sells out relatively quick has been Evolving Skies, but even then, it's taken about a day or two to be able to sell out of most of that stuff, where before it takes seconds. So it really just comes down to the fact that, demand with the recession, things are going down. When do you think Evolving Skies will be in stores? Well, it's hard to say because it's a booster box reprint Prince Waffle, so it's mainly going to be LGS stores that are going to be receiving this, because big box retailers don't have booster boxes, so I couldn't tell you. I'm going to say within this week, though. Eli, I don't know how to explain this. If I want to send a promo to PSA, but it's still in its original plastic sleeve, do I take it out before sending it? Yes, you have to. Should we all just invest in older sets than to play it safe? I'm not the biggest fan of that, Trax. I mean, if you're talking about investing in older sets, as I've mentioned many times before, the sets that have the highest ceiling are also going to have the lowest floor, more than likely. And what do I mean by that? Just so that people understand. WotC had some of the highest returns, if not the highest returns, over the Boom, because they were extremely all very much undervalued cards. But of course, with that, they had such high exponential gains, they're going to have high exponential retracements. That is both for sealed product, that is both for PSA and ungraded. So, necessarily speaking, we don't know what floors are for these sets. We can go off of prior all-time highs like you would with crypto, like you would with stocks and trading in general. It's hard to really go off of that, though, because it was such a bubble, inflationary period, right? And so, with ultra modern product, you know what wholesale is, you know what MSRP is, you know that you're probably not going to go below 10 to 20% below wholesale. So if you're buying in, you know what your bottom is. These other products, you don't know what your bottom is, and the bottom could continue to go. So I think, just the ceiling long term could be higher in theory, but the floor and the risk, especially going into a recessionary period, now's not the time to be buying a lot of this older product, in my personal opinion, because I think there's still a lot of downside to go. Now, of course, that could come off as ignorant, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, at the end of the day, just you know, it's different for each aspect, because certain WotC sets are gonna retrace harder than other WotC sets. Certain, you know, EX era sets are gonna, you know, do better than EX era sets, and so on and so forth. So it's not like a broad spectrum, but from a lot of the instances that we've talked about in regards to retracements, such as we use the Lugia PSA 9 as a perfect example, we'll go back in and take a look at that just so that people can see the example I used last time. And I want it to be, if you guys want me to show more, we can, but I'll just show this one for now because I don't ever want to come off as someone who cherry picks. But this was just one that caught my eye. Take a look at the value of the PSA 9 and what it's done in the past year. It went from around $100, I think was its low, where was it? Where is it? $100 all the way to 9,000. That's a 92 times return. That's insane. That's a huge return. You know, it's dropped. I'm gonna say, you know, this is probably a fluke sale. I could be off, but I'm gonna say these are both probably fluke sales. I'm gonna say it probably is going for around 2K. That's still a 70 to 80% retracement. But with that being said, from its prior low, it's still a 20x return. And I wouldn't be surprised if this went down to 1,000 to 1,500, because we're still going into a recessionary period even after such a massive retrace, you know? And it's not like PSA 9 for this card is super high pop. Like, this is still a very low pop card. 452 for 9s? That's low. 43 for 10s? That's even lower, right? And the thing is, it's hard to track these 10s as well because there's so many less sales. But even with tracking this, look at how much it's dropped, right? But even with the drop, it's still got up 50x. So I think the 10s have more to go. I think the 9s are the first indicators, and you're just going to continue to see that downwards trajectory with a lot of these first ed cards. Another example I can use, just because I want to show one more, is let's go to base set Shadowless. And let's take a look at one like, just, I don't know, we'll do an Alakazam, just for the sake of it. We'll do an Alakazam base set Shadowless. And let's take a look at the 9. And we can take a look and see how the 9 has been doing. Look at that. Just look at that, guys. $95 for a PSA 9. All the way up to $2,250. That's insane. Look where it's at now. From its lowest inflection point, it's now only a 4x return from its all-time prior high. If you guys want to, we can, of course, go back and look at listing ID to try and, you know, double check and make sure. Look, this one's a raw one. So we want to make sure we can actually see, because sometimes these... How old are these biddings? Yeah, these are old ones. We can go check right now if you guys want to see what PSA is showing, or what eBay is showing. But I gotta imagine, guys, like, this is not something that, I don't know, man. This is something that's just seen a huge retrace. So $700 right now for a non-first edition. That's what it's selling for right now. These are all first ed, so please ignore this. But here we go, Shadowless, non-first edition. $461. So is that the one that we looked at? Yep, $461.58. So there's the sale. That's huge, guys. That's a huge retracement. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it... You really got to ask yourself, is it going to retrace harder? Because that is a hard retrace. Like, a hard retrace on a lot of these cards, right? But that's a 9, right? That's a 9. 10s that are low pop, quote-unquote safer. I don't know, man. I think these still have a lot of retracements to go. But 9s are getting shellacked, bro. Should we just purchase singles instead, like Ancient Origins? Rather than buy the packs? What do you mean by that? Oh, hold on. Should we all just invest in older sets than to play it safe? Should we purchase singles from Ancient Origins? I mean, like, XY era product, I think it's still gonna go down. Oh god, if you're talking about... Oh, that's a hard one, man. If we're talking like Sun and Moon era, XY era product, it's hard to say with that kind of stuff because I'm not investing in either of them right now. If there's anything that I'm investing in, it's reprinted sets that are high demand for Ultra Modern. That's what I'm going for right now. As crazy as it sounds, but it's the safest, I think, right now. Because I'm not buying in anything, because anything I've basically been looking at right now that's older than Ultra Modern, you know, the price has gone down even at me buying it at a lower discounted price. Do you expect Celebrations will quickly outpace the rest of the recent sets? Yes, I can totally see that happening, John. 100%. $300 for Celebrations, ETB, decent price range. Tracks, I feel like you're just trolling me at this point, but just to look at it, I will, because I don't want to neglect people. But if this is the trolling one, then I swear to God, I'm going to stop answering your questions. Because some of them, not to like sound mean, but some of them are like, of course that's expensive. $300? Yes, that's expensive. That's what market is. Definitely wouldn't pay $300. You probably find it for $250 or cheaper somewhere else. Celebrations collector chests were selling for $25 shipped all day. Recently they're selling for most. Yep, 100% John. What's up, Steven? How we doing, brother? Do you ever see first edition mystery packs being over $700 in 10 plus years? I think that's a conservative number. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if it comes with actual first edition packs, potentially, yeah, dude. Trax Phantom, love your channel, bro. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're not just trolling me. Yes, gold stars, Danny said. All right, so this will be a fun one to look at because those are... All right, so this is actually gonna be an interesting one. EX Era. EX Era's been doing pretty strong. Now, granted, of course, you know, if we're talking about the PSA 9 for the Rayquaza, just the Rayquaza in general, it's actually still taking a hit. Let's just take a look at the 10 first. So going off the 10, it has dropped. How much percentage point? I don't know, about 25%. How much has the 9 dropped? Real question. Real question. Wow. 9 recently sold for 9K. Is that right? Let's take a look. I swear, if I click on listing IDs, it never works out. So I'm just going to go this, and then I'm just going to look up PSA 9. I trust this, but I still want to. Just cuz. It's an 8.5. When did it happen? Oh, it's not gonna pop up. It's not gonna pop up. Bummer. I mean, it's crazy, guys. I don't know, man. PSA 9 hasn't retraced that hard. PSA 9's been strong, but to be fair, this is one of the top most desired cards of all time, so I would expect it not to retrace that hard. But you know, everything's being hit. But EX Era's, I think EX Era's having a late pop. I said that about Black and White. Or sorry, not Black and White. I said that about Diamond and Pearl. I think EX Era is also in that same kind of stage. Because it's been holding up strong. So I gotta assume that it's eventually gonna have a little bit of a down period, but I don't think it's gonna be much. I think it's just, you know, these EX Gold Star cards have been very, like, they hold strong. Like, you want to talk about strength? Like, WotC Era has not held up strong compared to EX Era. But that's, I think, because WotC, there's a lot more supply of WotC than people realize compared to EX. Now, Mew Gold Star, on the other hand, I've actually been following this one pretty heavily because I'm a huge fan. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. This one has also been holding up extremely strong, which is annoying the crap out of me. It's been doing phenomenal. I mean, this is not a weak chart. This is not a weak card. You know? Both these cards are great. And you're talking about a population of 65 for 10. That's a very low pop. So the question you gotta inevitably ask yourself, right? You've got a 65 pop with the Mew, and you have a 190 pop with the 9. Both very low pop cards. You have the Mew showing strength. You have the 9. If we take this fluke sale, right? Let's say it's real. Obviously, that changes things. Or that makes sense, because then it's like, okay, it's still holding pretty strong up and down, up and down. But if we take this sale away, what has this been doing? All it's been doing is going down. So for the sake of that argument, the strength of sales for the PSA 9 is a lot weaker if you take away 1 or 2, because a lot of them you're still able to get for less. Not to mention the last sales volume of this, we can't even take a look at because of how much older it is. Versus taking a look at the Mew. The Mew has had some more recent sales, even with it being a 10, having less supply. Where's Dragon Frontiers? Going back, taking a look at it. Because, once again, the most recent sale of this for the 10 Actually, no, that's not true at all. I thought it was more recent. I could have sworn it was, but I guess not. So they're around the same distance in time. It's hard to say. But still, even looking at this chart, you take this one away, price does not drop that much compared to what the Dragon... Yeah, here's what I'm going to say, man. You take away both their most recent sales because they're both low pop. You're still seeing relatively stronger, like, strength from the Mew compared to the PSA 9 Rayquaza. So I almost feel like you go with that. Plus, it's a lower supply because it's a PSA 10. 10s are more sought after than 9s. I would go with that. I think that's what I would say personally. Hard to buy older Hidden Fates when Shining Fates ETBs are selling for 40 now. Dude, Shining Fates at those prices, such a good pickup, bro. I've been talking about that forever. Shining Fates is an incredible pickup for these prices. Does the Evolving Skies reprint come to Europe, or does it only affect the US? I've heard, in NRG, I've heard a lot of people talk about product coming to Europe, or expected to come to Europe for Evolving Skies, so probably. Lilanza, we did see the alternate art Giratina. We talked about that, I feel like, for the first half an hour of the stream. Yeah, dude, gorgeous card. Gorgeous card. Hi. Oh, or wait, no. Hey, Mav. How high do you think the Celebrations UPC will go up? I could see it going up to $1,000 in, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. I don't think that's unrealistic. Do I think that's worth it, waiting that long for such a small growth? No. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. But you got to talk time frame, man. Because look at what's doing right now. It's hit a wall right now. Went all the way up to 500, had some more supply print, went to 225, which is still twice above MSRP, went triple above MSRP, and now it's kind of slowly been going sideways. Slowly been going sideways. Slowly been going sideways and down. Now, we're going into a recessionary period, so that's playing a factor. This is already triple above MSRP. Quadruple above wholesale. This item, although it'll do well long term, even if you make an argument saying within the next 5 years it'll go to $1,000, which is very realistic. I still think that is not worth it if you're buying in right now at its current price, because that's only a 3x return, when Evolving Skies booster boxes in 5 years, you could easily see them going for around $300 to $500 in 5 years. And now that might sound crazy to say. Obviously, it's going to come down to, are we still in a recessionary period? If we're still in a recessionary period, then they're still going to stay down, which is why we like to look at it from realistically a 5 to 10 year perspective, which is why I say 5+. Because for me, guys, you know, if we had made the argument saying it's extremely smart to invest in Diamond and Pearl Air product because it's going to go up, and we had said 5 year period, right? Let's take my favorite set, Majestic Dawn. 5 years from that is 2013. It went up, but definitely not like it did today. You look at what happened when it went to 2016, when we had an actual boom, like a very much bullish cycle for Pokemon again. That's when it started to go up, and it like doubled and tripled in value. I think it was at $200 or $300 by then. Then, of course, you look at it where it is now at around 7K, 6K, depending upon the condition. Maybe some as high as 8K. That's a whole different difference between 200 to 300. And that happened with our current boom. So, to answer that question, it's less about time and more about when the market cycle for a bull cycle begins. 5 to 10, safe conservative statement to say that you could see this literally go down or sideways for the next 3 to 5 years, and then bull market happens, boom, skyrockets, 2x, 3x. It's just typically how market cycles go. So I think that's what your kind of expectation is for the celebrations, and I could totally see it doing that, considering 3x is not a lot. And products such as, you know, Majestic Dawn, which, granted, it is a now 14-year-old product, went up, what, 20, 30x? So I think it's pretty fair to say that for 5 years, a product can go up 2 to 3x. Pretty safe to say, in my opinion. But it really just comes down to what we're going to look like, or what things are going to look like after we're out of the recessionary period, and realistically, how long it's going to last. Because we look at something like '08, which was pretty drastic. You know, we found our bottom shortly, early 2010. So that was about 2 years. So you start to see a turnaround around that time. You could start to see that happen in 2013. Start to see progress being made. So, but how explosive is that progress is the real question. John Doe says by Christmas. Could you imagine? How high will UPC be? I think, are you ready for this? Bold take. I think by Christmas, the Ultra Premium Collection will be exactly the same price it is right now. I mean, we're in a recessionary period, man. If anything, it'll be cheaper. If anything, it'll probably go down to the low 300s. Because people don't realize that holidays is when there's discounts, when there's deals. Black Friday. Christmas. Buying cheaper product. UPC will be either at the same price or it'll be cheaper. We're going into a recessionary period. We're going into a market that's also going to have a lot less demand for it. I see it doing bad. So this is a long-term game, guys. Long-term game. That's not what my hobby shop is asking for. Not Troll and Toad, but thanks. Are you talking about for what product specifically, Trax? Celebrations is going to age very well with no more reprints, especially having UPC as part of the set to help. No, 100%. They'll all age well. Celebrations product is going to age well. Undoubtedly. Wait, that's what my hobby shop is asking for, not trolling, but thanks. Wow, that's incredible, Trax. I am so sorry, my guy. That is terrible that your hobby shop is doing that. Wow. Wow, my guy. I guess I just asked because it's so laughably high. Like, I didn't realize. I apologize. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, they'll do well. But I think it's more of a long-term game. And considering the fact that a lot of these other products, like the tins, have been at such a low price for the longest time, they're going to see a lot better, explosive growth compared to the UPC, which has already seen such high growth. What's your thoughts on investing in Ultra Prism? Great set. You can get it for a good price, too. Yeah, Ultra Prism is great, dude. Great set for how much it is. I think I put it in my video that I had to take down, but it was one of my, top 6 set. It was the second half of, good Sun and Moon era sets. Considering how cheap it is for what you're able to get in it, it's kind of crazy to me. I mean, you would probably find this somewhere for 300 to 325, right? And then if you say to yourself, 300 to 325, and you've got cards like Lily's Full Force, Lily's Full Art, Cynthia, you've got some great cards in this set. I think it's a great set to pick up. Great analysis. I thought the same thing. I'll be sure to pick up some product from you to support. I appreciate that, Danny. Thanks. I heard Small Evolving Skies reprint already came to Europe. Thank you, Travis. Do you have a list of cards you recommend to buy on your website? A list of cards? I don't have a list of cards to buy on my website. If there is a list of cards that you're interested in buying, you can, of course, message me through Discord, and I will answer to what I have. Most of the product that I have right now, I have a lot on-site listed, but I have a lot off-site that is currently not listed, all from anywhere between the EX era to mainly Diamond and Pearl and Black and White. Ton of Diamond and Pearl Black and White, like Hollows, Level X's, EX's. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, I have a decent amount of it. Are XY promos hard to get graded as PSA 10s? I want to buy a Regigigas XY82 Raw, try and get one, but I don't know how possible it is. It's definitely hard. XY era had very, very, very bad print. Very bad print. So I mean, you can always try and send it with the promos because I gotta assume it's pretty cheap. We'll take a look. We'll just go XY promos. Can I just look up XY promos? Will it pop up? I'm gonna go A to Z. Regigeekus. I kind of figured this was the promo you were referencing. Because I'm right there with you, man. I wish I could tell you how hard it is. I assume it's probably not going to be the easiest. But I've definitely want to do the same thing with the Darkrai from the Generations promos. I think your best bet, honestly, there, Tyrone, is go check eBay and look at the pictures of them, or Mercari, or people that just have pictures. It's going to be a lot easier. Or if you want, you can buy one here, and then, of course, based off of that one you get, try and take that and base it off of what you could get in the future from TCG. Just, of course, make sure you're getting it from someone that's reputable, like Old School Gaming or a lot of these verified sellers. So, because I've looked in that myself for the Darkrai. If we're talking about XY promos. Because the Darkrai one I absolutely love. I think it's gorgeous promo. And I was like, wow, that's cheap. But it's a promo, so it makes sense why it's cheap. Third page maybe is where it is. Charizard GD. Yeah, this one right here. I mean, look how cheap this one is, man. This one's way cheaper than yours, too. Like, yours is upwards of $10, bro. I can pick this up for $5. $6. So, I don't know. It's something I've looked into myself, so I think it's definitely worth it. I just saw first at PSA 9. It surges Magnetone sell for $60. Auction was a big price drop. They're selling for $150 recently. Maybe I should have bought that. It'll be crazy to seeing this drop much more. Yeah, honestly, John. Yeah, you never know, because a lot of the times, I don't know. I like to. All I can tell you, John, is my strategy. I love monitoring auctions. Even if I don't enter in, I will monitor it because that's where you get your best deals, for sure. I love gems of knowledge you share. Thanks for helping us make wiser choices in spending during these tough times. Hey, I appreciate that. Smile on my face. Thank you, Trax. Sorry once again about your LGS. That's tough, dude. Those Gold Star cards are definitely going to be our Generation's First Edition Charizard. I mean, those Gold Star cards are just... If you look at what's performed the best recently, like talking about all the eras, Gold Star cards have been holding strong. Like, they are outliers in and of themselves at how strong they've been performing. So strong. What about Hidden Fates tins? Any worth investing in, or should we expect a reprint? Highly doubt we're going to get a reprint because it's not part of the standard rotation, and the reason why we got a pushback in the rotation for current standard format is because the Pokemon Company only does reprints for standard. So expectation, will we get more Hidden Fates reprints? Be stunned. Be absolutely stunned if we did. Now with that being said, Hidden Fates tins, are they worth picking up? My opinion, Hidden Fates ETBs, you can probably find them anywhere between 120 to 140. Some other sites, obviously listed here, it's 160. But guys, look at the price of these ETBs. They've been sideways for the longest time. Like, maybe slightly going up, but they have been sideways for the longest time. So picking these up at around that 120 to 140 is still an incredible price for an item that I think will do extremely well long term. So, do you think UPC prices will retrace with recession or keep steady moving up? I think you could see, John, a slow retrace, and then eventually a bottom, and then eventually it'll go back up. But that's for specifically the UPCs because they're so overinflated. The price of them is so high. When you're talking about MSRP is 120 and it's triple above MSRP right now, that's just too much. Altarts will definitely be up there too. Altarts will definitely do well for sure. Are you higher in Champions Path Charizard promo or Hidden Fates Mini Tin Charizard promo? Champions Path promo. For sure. But above both of those, it's the ETB promo for Hidden Fates. You know why? I doubt you. I doubted you on Evolving Skies hitting 100, but I can see this happening. Bro, a lot of people doubted me on that. A lot of people doubted me when I told them that Evolving Skies reprints were going to happen. A lot of people doubted me when I told them that you could see the price of it hit 120. People thought 120 was a pipe dream, bro. And like, when I say these things, man, I don't try and come off arrogant. I apologize if I do. I try and come off from the perspective of I don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at the charts and show what history has done and how we can make predictions on the future. And you guys can do that. Easy. Guys can do that just as easy as I can. If I can do it, then you guys can definitely do it. That's for sure. Because I ain't a rocket scientist. That's for sure. You take a look at Evolving Skies and how low it's gotten, and you talk about it's an ultra modern set. Why not? It was kind of like when people are making the argument back when Battle Styles was at, you know, it had a retracement, went down to 120 after it was at 160, 170, and people said, you know, you'll never see a booster box below 100. That was the sentiment for the longest time, and bro, how wrong people were on that. You know, people just, you gotta look more at the charts and not with the emotions. You know what I mean? And stuff's dropping fast, and Evolving Skies products is going to continue to drop fast, especially considering we're probably going to get more reprints later down the line for both ETBs and booster boxes. Do you think the new UPC says to release in October Scarlet and Violet will be hard to get like the last UPC? Well, we don't know, Jones, if it's for Scarlet and Violet. The only confirmation we've got is it's going to be a Ultra Premium collection, but there's an argument to be made. This one could be a, like, because look at the other ones, guys. You had the Ultra Premium collection featuring Zacian Zamazente, right? You had Celebrations and you had Hidden Fates. This was end of year, like kind of going with a bang. This was a, you know, celebratory one. Who's to say that the upcoming one, the Ultra Premium and V-Box, is not going to be for a, you know, and I could be off base on this, but who's to say it's not going to be a Sword and Shield shiny one like they did with Hidden Fates? Because we had one at the start, and we had another one that's not near the end. I mean, Sword and Shield era, you know, let's argue and say this is in the middle, right? So the fact that the collection features a VMAX and a V-Star and the three mechanics of the era could indicate in general celebrating the entire Sword and Shield era series, since Scarlet and Violet are right around the corner. Guess what, guys? The end of the year shiny set is going to be a V-Star versus VMAX set. What are the odds that it's going to be for that set? Kind of like Hidden Fates. I think it's a high probability chance, in my opinion. Good question, Mike. I was debating buying Hidden Fates ETBs for slight discount. Yeah, no, dude. Mike is great. Mike is great. Well, Mike is great. But the ETBs, I definitely like. Sweet. I'm interested in singles. I saw ones available on your site, but since you had more, I definitely will look into it. Yeah, of course, Alonzo. You can feel free to message me as well, man. I'll tell you what I got. Did I miss the response for Hidden Fates? You did. You did miss the response. I just said it. Let me know if you want me to go over it again, or you can rewind it. Do you think Scarlet and Violet have more or less chase? We don't know, man. Scarlet or Violet is so chase compared to Charizard's to Sword and Shield. Would you like to see less new chases or Charizards? I would like to see more focus on other strong character cards, like more like main chase Rayquaza sets, more like main chase Lugia sets, more main chase Mewtwo sets, or like Eevee sets even. I'd like to see more of that. So, I don't know. Do we got a mod? Alright, mods took care of it. Nice. Hey, yo! Kill the bots, please. I'll make sure to order from your website. Thanks. I appreciate it. Just popping in and say hi. What's up, Radarack? Any discounts on bundle orders? Well, Trax, if you... So typically, for those people that don't know this, if you buy on my site has a transaction fee. Because it's my site, and I have to pay that transaction fee from PayPal. If you just do a transaction with me through Discord, which I do all the time, like so many times, and you want to do one where I can cater it more without having to make a listing out of it, and you can do either a GNS or a, you know, friends and family, I can easily give you a discount So feel free to reach out to me if you ever want that. And you're like, hey, if I buy a ton of this product, or hey, do you have a ton of this product that I could get at a discounted price? Now, please, you know, I'm not going to give you things for wholesale, of course, but I'm going to give you a discounted price, typically cheaper than anywhere you're going to be able to find on the website, or on the internet. And so I can totally give you discounted prices, no question. Should I buy the older Giratina GX now that there are newer sets coming out? It's not a bad buy by any means, but at the same exact time, I don't think that older GX cards are all of a sudden going to, or specifically older Giratina cards are all of a sudden going to pop off because of this new set. I could be wrong with that, but I think GX cards are kind of in the direction of going down. So I would say, like I said, it's not a terrible buy by any means, because if you're talking about, like, I don't know, like an amazing one to kind of point out is the Unified Minds one. The Unified Minds tag team with the, where is it? Go high to low. High to low. All right, so this card, obviously, it's thankfully been in a downtrend. Looks like it's found its bottom. This card in a PSA 10 condition, guys. Look how much it's going for. This card sold for 81 bucks in a PSA 10. So you want to talk about one that you can probably get for dirt cheap, and we can go to sets and we can take a look and see what the charts look like on Pokédata. They do a good job with it. Have a conversation about 10s. But yeah, I mean, price of this is looking nice. And look at how low pop it is too. That's why I say, specifically, I wouldn't say raw, but graded. Pretty good pickup. With recession, do you think Pokemon will make an announcement that they're dialing back more printing now? I don't think that's something they'd make an announcement about, but you could see them naturally doing it because Astral Radiance was a one print wave. We had one print wave for Pokemon Go, and then we are having a one print wave so far for Lost Origins. So they're doing it. Do you think Celebration's ETB prices will outpace Hidden Fate's ETB prices? Wow, that's a hard question, John. Man, that is a hard question for me to ask. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't answer that question because that's such a good question to ask. That's such a tough one because I can see an argument to be made that Hidden Fates will outpace it, but Hidden Fates has been printed so many more times than Celebration. So let me put it to you this way, John. If Celebrations were done here, this is it, this is the reprints, I think Celebrations will eventually outpace them. If they get more reprints, I can see Hidden Fates outpacing it. I don't think Pokemon would announce exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% Pika. I agree. I'm interested in buying Giratina EX from Black and White's Dragons Exalted. Do you think it's a long-term value now that there will be newer Giratina sets coming out? Like I said before, I wouldn't put too much value on the fact that we have the newer Giratina set. Therefore, these older Giratinas are going to be worth more. Because the thing is, Trax, this is very much centered around the Arceus video game, and so for that reason, this is something that's only specific to this era. Obviously, Giratina is a card. We've had multiple different Giratina cards throughout the years, and so if that were something like that were true, obviously, I mean, look at how many Giratina cards we've had. We've had a lot of Giratina cards over the years, so it's really hard to make an argument that this one card is going to all of a sudden bring out the hype for a lot of Giratina people, right? Now, that's not to say that I don't think, like, you know, the full art Giratina from Plasma was a gorgeous card, or to say that the deck exclusive Giratina or any of these black and white Giratinas are, you know, not cool and so on and so forth. But it is to say that I wouldn't put too much hype around this set bringing back value to older sets the same way as you would with, say, Arceus, the video game, and more specifically Diamond and Pearl remakes bringing value to level X cards because they're so nostalgically tied to those games. Versus a set about Giratina is not nostalgically tied the same way to just Giratina cards in general. If anything, it would be the Giratina level X cards that would do the best. Because that's when the game came out. Is, you know, it's a Gen 4 card. It's Gen 4 Pokemon. Do you think that Pokemon Ultimate Collector's Guide is still a good book to buy with modern times? I think it's a fun book to own for sure. I definitely think it's a cool book to own. It's not like necessarily like needed, obviously, but it's still a cool book to have. So we're in the last 5 minutes that as well, guys. So we're in the last 5 minutes, just wrapping it up. Do you think that what do you think about picking up the Ultra Gengar and Espeon for $100 each for Fusion Strike? Let's take a look. I honestly think that the price of this card could get a lot cheaper, especially because you're going to see more of it being graded. It's not a bad price by any means to pick it up at, but I think that Fusion Strike is far and away from being reprinted, or sorry, from being out of rotation, so it's more than likely still going to get reprinted. And so for me, it's not a terrible price to pick it up at. But I wouldn't be surprised if long term you could see it get cheaper. I mean, the 10 is just been going down. Raw, obviously, it's just been going down. PSA 9s compared to Raw. I mean, it's just going down. This doesn't look like a healthy chart that's going to go up anytime soon, so not a bad price. But I could see it continuing to go more down. I mean, you can get it for 180. All right, Travis, I'll take a look at it in a second, brother. No problem, Trax. Smoke and Mirror just posted Evolving Skies booster case for $780. Divided by 6. $130. There you go. Not a bad price. Do you think the supply of especially Charizard card will be more or less than Bidoof? Probably more. Probably more, I would say, because it's Pikachu instead of Bidoof. So yeah, I would say more. Just makes more sense. But also, who knows, man? I mean, it's hard to know with these things, especially considering that they said that they were going to be pushing these out for the next 12 weeks, and they're already sold out within a day. So, kind of hard to say, man. I don't know. Just it makes it. I don't know. It's tough, especially because people were trying to scamaz the system by, you know, botting. But the thing is, it's going to all one address, and that's what they said they were going to do. Is it would only go to one address. So I feel like if they're scamazing and they're putting the same address each time, that wouldn't necessarily work. Who knows? Maybe they just go buy 100 POS boxes. I don't know how much that would even cost for a month compared to how much the cards are going to be. But yeah, anything else we have to discuss about today, guys? Once again, for those people that are interested, Mystery Pack Pokemon USA official. Having an announcement for that, of course. It's going to be released 7/24. So 5 packs guaranteed, plus always a mystery bonus. Yeah, super excited about that. And then we still have, I think we still have one more bundle of the Vivid Voltage Evolving Skies. I think that's all we have left for that. And I'll try and add some more product to the site sooner than later now that we have the official release for Lost Origin. But as far as it goes, guys, thank you all so much for watching. As always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and be subscribed if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. Of course, appreciate the channel, appreciate the love and support. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. What do you think of the overall health of Pokemon Center and ETBs? I think they'll do well. I think they'll do well. But that is